Namaste. When you're ready, let's start our class today in constructive rest in your Shavasana. Making sure that you arrange your legs and feet, your arms and hands comfortably. Making sure that you're warm, you have enough layers on, a blanket, maybe something to support the head. Eye pillow, possibly for the eyes. Just deciding whether it's more comfortable to have the knees bent, placing the soles of your feet onto the floor, or having the legs extended all the way out in front. And just sinking the little toes out to the top two corners of the mat. As you arrange your arms and hands, you may prefer to have them resting alongside the body. Or maybe taking a bend in the elbows, cradling the lower abdomen with the hands. And closing the eyes if that feels comfortable for you today. Starting our constructive rest, our Shavasana, by taking 3 deep breaths in and out as you inhale and as you exhale. Maybe sighing as you exhale. As you settle into a natural rhythm of your breath, just knowing throughout the practice you will hear sounds inside of a room, sounds outside, and these are not distractions, they're not disruptions. Just what things are happening around us as we lay here today and breathe. Beginning to notice your mind as it wanders, as it jumps from thought to thought. See if you can gently guide your attention and focus to your stomach or to your chest. As you breathe in, feel them rise. As you breathe out, feel them fall. Simply continuing this practice, observing the sensation of the breath. Notice your mind as it wanders. Just release that thought, returning attention and focus back to your breath. Breathing in, just follow your breath in. Breathing out, just follow your breath out. The mind wanders. Gently guide attention back to your breath. Just letting go of expectations or judgments of your practice. Just lying here and breathing. Breathing in, feel the stomach rise. Breathing out, feeling the stomach fall. Learning to be comfortable in this stillness. Just sensing what it's like just to lie here and breathe. And after your next exhale, start to bring awareness back into the room, back onto your body, resting on the earth in constructive rest in your Shavasana. Maybe blinking the eyes a couple of times, or maybe keeping the eyes closed, whatever you do just to bring your awareness back. And if the knees aren't already bent, just start to take a bend in the knees, placing the soles of the feet onto the floor. We want to create some space from the back of our heels to our sitting bones. So allow the feet to be in line with the knees. We want the feet to be to the width of your yoga mat, so quite wide, not hip width apart, slightly wider. Sensing here that you feel nice and straight, nice and symmetrical, resting on the floor. Releasing the arms and hands, resting alongside the body. And then for that lovely continuation of that length through the spine, just tuck the chin down towards the chest gradually, allowing that length to go up through the neck, up through the crown of your head. We're going to inhale here with your knees to centre. And as you exhale, just taking the windscreen wiper legs over towards the right. The knees start to come over towards the right. Not forcing the knees to the floor, just allowing them to start to find their natural resting position today. Inhale, bring your knees back to centre. And as you exhale, take the knees over to the left. So continuing, inhale, exhale as they sink over to the right. Taking care not to rush. Just starting to bring some movement into the lumbar spine. Stretching out through the belly, the hips, the legs, the lower back. Get that nice rotation through the body. A couple more here from side to side. And when you're ready, bring the knees back to centre and just step the soles of the feet in a little bit closer. You're going to reach and find your yoga belt, old dressing gown, tie or a tie. And we're going to come into reclined hand-to-feet toe pose. So open whatever you're using today. Very carefully start to draw the right knee towards the chest as you loop the belt or tie around the sole of your right foot. So taking a moment here just to have the belt equal in both hands. Drawing that right leg into where it feels comfortable. And then from here we're going to extend that left leg all the way along the mat. We're going to have the toes on the left foot pointing up towards the sky. Maybe just slide the hands down the belt a little bit more to allow the shoulders to relax, the elbows in towards the side of the body. And still keeping the neck safe, still tuck the chin in down towards the chest. Guiding that right thigh, right knee in towards the chest as it feels comfortable. If the hamstrings are super tight, you might want to take a bend through that right knee. Breathing into that stretch. From here, take both ends of the belt into the right hand and extend your left arm all the way out at shoulder height so the back of your left hand rests on the floor. Inhale here. As you exhale, start to take that right leg all the way out to the right, just releasing the hand to slide up the belt a little bit more. If you want to get the right leg down towards the floor a little bit more, but don't overstretch. You can start to feel that into the groin, into the hip. Where feels comfortable for you today, breathing, don't hold the breath. Ensuring that we've still got engagement through that left leg, toes up towards the sky. Inhale here. As you exhale, bring that right leg back to centre. And then swap the hands around. Take both ends of the belt into the left hand. This time extend your right arm out at shoulder height. The back of your right arm resting on the floor. Inhale. As you exhale, using that belt to help you guide that right leg all the way over to the left. Coming into a deeper rotation. Maybe noticing that that right lower back comes all the way off the mat. See if you can just guide your right foot closer to the floor on your left side. But you don't have to come all the way over if you don't want to today. Toes on the left foot still putting it up towards the sky. Still got engagement through both legs. Feeling that stretch through the outer right glutes, right hip. Inhale here. As you exhale, bringing that right leg back to centre. Super. Take both ends of the belt back into both hands. When you're ready, bring that right leg in towards you to release the belt and then straighten that right leg all the way out in front. Take a bend in the left knee. Guide that left thigh, left knee in towards the chest. As you loop your belt or your tie around the sole of that left foot and holding on to the belt, start to extend up through that leg. So this time the toes on the right foot are pointing up towards the sky. And just sensing how the hamstring feels on the left side, maybe taking a bend in that knee, just releasing how that hamstring feels. Or maybe it's possible for you to straighten through that left leg a little bit more. Taking a moment here to get comfortable with the belt, sliding the hands down the belt, releasing the shoulders into the floor, both elbows in towards the side of the body, and then taking both ends of the belt into the left hand. Extend your right arm out at shoulder height, releasing the top of that right hand onto the floor. Inhale here. As you exhale, let's take that left leg all the way over to the left, holding on to the belt, seeing where it feels comfortable for you today, just guiding that left leg a little closer to the earth, sensing that stretch through the inner left thigh, left hip into the groin. We're not holding the breath. Inhaling here as we exhale, using that belt to help you guide that left leg back to centre, and then swapping the hands round, taking both ends of the belt into the right hand, extending your left arm all the way out at shoulder height. Inhale here, and as you exhale, using that belt to guide that left leg across the body, over towards the right, noticing that deeper rotation as we take that leg across the body, not forcing that left leg down onto the floor, but using the belt, pushing into the belt with the sole of the foot, just resting where it feels comfortable. A nice passive stretch, lengthening through the hip flexors, the legs. Inhale here, and as you exhale, bringing that left leg back to centre. Taking both ends of the belt in both hands, taking a bend in the left knee, releasing the sole of that left foot down onto the floor, and then releasing for a moment through both legs in totality. Just sinking the little toes out to the top two corners of the mat, allowing the hip flexors to relax and release the glutes, the glute medius, the glute max, the shoulders, the arms, the legs. When you're ready, take a bend in the knees. Draw the knees up over the chest. Interlace your fingers around the knees, around the shins. Just have a gentle rock from side to side. Massage out the belly and the hips. Just work quite hard in that reclined hand to big toe pose. Maybe allowing the eyes to close again. Sinking the shoulders into the floor. Bring the knees back to centre. Raise your right arm. Keep that right arm elevated as you slowly, carefully roll onto your right side. Resting here with your head on that right arm. Allowing yourself to take a little fuller inhale and a little fuller exhale. When you're ready, and certainly in your own time, just allow awareness to come back into the left fingers, into the left hand. When you're ready, push down into that hand. Use your left hand to steady yourself as you push all the way back up. We're going to come into our Sukhasana. So finding a cushion from your sofa, a yoga block if you have one, a rolled up blanket, whatever you need to use today that's going to be comfortable for you to sit. We know how we come into our Sukhasana every week can differ. So it may feel comfortable for you today to have the legs extended out in front. Watch the hamstrings, take a rolled up blanket to prop the back of the thighs. If the legs are extended out in front, of course we want engagement through the legs, toes towards the sky, so you start to feel that activeness through the legs. Or maybe it's much more comfortable for you to sit with the legs cross-legged. Just release the hands onto the lap. In both variations of the legs, either out in front or crossed. Palms of the hands just resting on the lap. Got a nice neutral pelvis. Sitting bones feel comfortable on top of the block. Maybe just have a little wiggle around to adjust the sitting bones. As we start to root down, sensing the length through the spine, around the obliques, around the belly. We can soften and release the shoulders down the back. Release the tops of the shoulders away from the ears, creating vital space around the chest and the lungs. Collarbones open and start to float up towards the sky, and we extend all the way out through the crown of our head. Release your right hand to the side. Start to lean down onto the fingertips or onto the right hand and raise your left hand up. And from here we're going to draw a nice circle, so look over as you start to circle through that left arm one way. So as far as it feels comfortable, lean in and circling, rotating, working into the shoulders. Feels particularly nice if you've been home working, maybe hunched over a desk, a keyboard for longer than you should do. And then let's change direction of that circle. Big circle through the left arm. Back, let's swap sides. So pushing down onto the left fingertips, left hand, raise your right arm up. Just as we did on our first side, start to circle that right arm. As large as the circles feel comfortable through your shoulder, through your arm. Make adjustments as and if you need to. Maybe sensing that one side the upper body feels a little tighter than the other. We know from our practice that's perfectly normal, perfectly natural. And then let's change direction of our circles, reach in, and then taking that arm backwards or forwards, whatever way that you started, doing the opposite direction. Slowly, a couple more. Let's release. Coming all way up. We're going to come off our block or our cushion or our blanket. And we're going to make our way into a variation of Parigasana gate pose. And we're going to be working our obliques today. This is a great pose for side body strength, for our flexibility. And it's quite important to have strong obliques. Not only are they good for the posture, but they save us from having bad backs. So let's take a blanket folded for the knees. Make your way into the middle of your mat. If you've got your socks on, remove your socks. Special yoga sticky socks can remain. We're going to step out with the right foot. So it's really important that we have no socks on unless you've got your special yoga sticky socks on. And we want to push down into the outer edge of that right foot. So the little toe edge. As we lift the inner arch, we've got a nice strong right leg. If your feet start to slide off your mat, then just move yourself over slightly. It's really important also that your foot remains on the mat. It's the stickiness of the mat against your foot that makes and keeps you nice and safe in your gate pose. Check your kneeling knee feels okay. We're rooting down through that left knee, nice long spine. We're going to take a bend in the elbows. Just clasp the hands behind the head. When you're ready, we're going to inhale. We're going to tip down over towards the right. And as we exhale, we're going to come up, rotate, and side bend to the left. Come back to center. Inhale. Really push down into that right foot. As we exhale, rotate, take a bend to the left. So let's do a few more. Last one. Come back to center, release the arms, stepping carefully with that right foot, right leg. And let's swap sides. So just move your blanket over slightly. Comfortable kneeling position, step out with your left foot. Just as we did on the right side, firmly push down into the outer edge of that left foot. Lift the inner arch, nice strong leg on the left side. Check your kneeling knee feels okay. Allow the spine to lengthen, just release the shoulders, the arms. Take a moment. Bend up the elbows, clasp the hands behind the head. When you're ready, inhale. Take a side bend over towards the left. As you exhale, you come up, rotate to the right, and side bend, and bend over towards the right. Come back to center, inhale, side bend. Exhale, rotate, bend. And continue. Really feel that working into the obliques, into the top of the hips. This is a great pose for our core strength as well. So not only are we working those abdominals, we're working the obliques, we're working down into the hips. Just improving our flexibility. Last one here. Nice. Going back to center, release the arms and the hands. Carefully step in with the left knee. Twiddle yourself all the way around on your mat. Take your child's pose. Sink the hips down towards the heels. Release the head down. Sinking the hips down. Melting the belly, the chest towards the earth. Breath. Inhale here. As you exhale, coming all the way up, slowly, carefully uncurling the spine, bringing the fingers, the hands, the arms back. Let's remove everything from our mat. We're going to get ready to come into our downward facing dog. So make your way into your tabletop position. Looking after hands, fingers, wrists. Spread the fingers apart. Wrists directly underneath the shoulders. If you remember, turning your elbows in towards one another. Knees are hip width apart. So look down at your knees, make sure they're hip width apart. push the earth away, creating space around the shoulders and the ears. Look down towards the mat, trying to release any tension out from the back of the neck. Turn the toes under, draw your navel in towards your spine. When you're ready, sink the hips back, push into the feet, make your way up into downward facing dog. Knees bent, draw the ribs in towards the thighs, release the neck and the head. So today, let's just walk the dog. Stretching out the backs of the legs. Coming back into your static downward facing dog when you're ready. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bend the knees if the knees aren't already bent. Keeping them bent, either walk the hands towards the feet, feet towards the hands. Let's transition into Uttanasana. A nice forward fold, looking after the back. Keep the knees bent, place the hands on the shins, round the back of the legs onto the calves. Or make that box shape, taking the hands to the inner elbows, using the breath to breathe into the upper back body, the lung capacity in the back. Releasing the neck, the crown of the head towards the floor. If the hands are to the inner elbows, you might want to just gently rock from side to side. Just moving, massaging, lengthening around those obliques again. Come back to centre, release the hands from the inner elbows, take the hands onto the shins, around the back of the legs again. Let's transition to standing. Push down into the feet, knees bent, start to stack each of your vertebrae on top of one another. Really using the muscular strength in the legs and the core. The fingers, the hands or arms are heavy. Sensing the space in between the shoulders. Stacking up slowly, carefully. The last thing to come up will be your neck and your head. Then you can straighten the legs, straighten the knees. Take time. Coming to face me on your mats when you're ready. Coming into a good Tadasana, but have the feet a little bit wider. We'll come straight into a standing slide with a twist in a moment. So the feet just slightly wider than hip width apart. Still having good connection with the four corners of the feet, so the space just below the big toe, the small toe. Spaces on the underside of the heels. Rooting down into the mat. Drawing that Pada Bandha energy up through the feet, the insteps, the whole length of the legs. So the legs are nice and active, your kneecaps are lifted. Take your fingertips onto your thighs, you can feel your thighs engage. They're working. Pelvis is neutral. Spine is lengthening, extending all the way up through the crown of the head. Shoulders are relaxed and released. The arms are released. Take the arms up to shoulder height, palms towards the earth. When you're ready, we're going to inhale here. As we exhale, let's take the left hand down towards the right shin, right foot. Come back up. And then slide, just move over towards the right. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So nice quiet breath. If you lose the thread of the breath, just breathe. So right hand to left shin, left foot. Coming all the way back up. And then we slide over. Okay, nearly got it? And last one. Lovely, come back to centre, just standing here in our star pose, releasing the shoulders, working through the arms, release the arms and the hands. How did you get on? Was it okay or was it super confusing? Okay, not to worry too much. Let's heel toe back to centre. We're going to come into Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. So come either to the side or the back of the mat where you can see me, into a comfortable standing position, into a good Tadasana. Feet hip width apart this time. Four corners of the feet pushing down into the earth. Drawing that Padabandha energy up through the insteps. Legs are active, kneecaps lifted. Step forward with your right foot when you're ready and turn the left foot out to 45 degrees. Let's make space around the hips and the pelvis. Step that right foot all the way up to the edge of the mat. And when you're ready, take a nice safe bend through that right knee. Maybe just move in the right toes forward a little bit more. The left foot's out to 45 degrees, we're grounded through both feet. Draw your navel in towards your spine, tuck the tailbone down. With that engagement around the core, raise the arms up, release the shoulders, fingertips up towards the sky. Keep the tummy drawing in towards the spine. Keep breathing. Sinking down a little bit further if you can. From here, we're going to release the right arm in front, the left arm behind. Inhale, take the arms back to centre. Exhale, release the left arm in front, right arm behind. Inhale, exhale. A few more with the breath. Keep pushing down into the feet. Keep that length drawing through the spine. Navel in towards the spine, feeling that working into the legs. Also into the arms and shoulders, lengthening through the right and the left side of the body. Bring the arms back to centre, sinking the shoulders down, sink a little bit further into that right side of the body. Release the arms, interlace the fingers behind the back, around the tailbone, and then from here, imagine you've got a hook on the front of your chest. It's going to pull you forward and up. Start to walk the arms and hands down the back of that left leg. As you come into a nice heart opener, take your gaze up towards the sky, breathe. Inhale here, as you exhale, come all the way up. Release the arms, step back to the back of your mat. Let's do that on the other side, Uttanasana. Feet hip width apart again, nice engagement through the legs, four corners of the feet. Drawing that Padabandha energy up through the insteps, the legs. Take a moment. Think about what's to come. Just be in this present moment. Breath calm, shoulders relaxing. Step forward with the left foot when you can. Turn the right foot out to 45 degrees. As we did on our first side, just step that left foot all the way up to the edge of the mat. When you're ready, take a comfortable, safe bend through that left knee. The knees directly above the ankle. You can see the big toe, but we're pushing down into the outer edge of that right foot. Draw your navel in towards the spine. The hips are nice and square. When you're ready, raise the arms, release the shoulders. Sink down through that left knee if you need to. We're not holding the breath is nice and calm. Inhale here as we exhale, take the left hand in front, left arm in front, right hand, right arm behind. Inhale, come back. Exhale, swap sides. Repeat. Slowly, carefully. If it's too much for the arms, let's take the arms out of the equation. If you lose the thread of the breath, don't worry. Keep breathing. And the last one. Take the arms up again. Check the shoulders haven't lifted up. Send the shoulders down the back. Carefully release the arms, interlace the fingers behind the back, around the tailbone. When you're ready, start to walk the hands down the back of that right thigh, opening the chest. Take your gaze up towards the sky as far as it feels comfortable. We're not looking for a real deep back bend today. Just open the chest to where it feels comfortable. Energizing, keep bending down through that left knee. Inhale here. As you exhale, come all the way up. Release arms and hands. Step back to the back of your mat. Put your hands on your hips. Bend your knees. Draw your hip circles one way. Maybe feeling that into the hips a little bit more. Maybe into the side body a little bit more. Change direction when you're ready. Come back to centre, press down into the feet, straighten the legs. One final pose before our final Shavasana, our final constructive rest. You will need a blanket. We're going to come into a comfortable high kneel. So maybe today the knees need a little bit more padding, so just take a moment to pad out the knees safely. Going to come into a comfortable high kneel. Release the tops of your feet onto the floor, so we don't want the toes bending backwards. So releasing totally through the toes. The knees are hip width apart. We feel grounded through the knees, allowing that length through the side body. Raise the arms up, palms towards the earth. Soften the shoulders, extend out through the crown of the head. When you're ready, just tip the right fingers down towards the right side. They might reach the mat, they might not, as you take the left arm up. Come back to centre. This time over towards the left, left fingers towards the earth, right arm up. Back to centre. Let's inhale. Exhale. Slowly. Really working on those muscles around the belly. The lower back, it's really good to move the spine in all directions, which we do in our yoga practice. Keeps the spine flexible, hydrated, mobile, young even. A couple more. Last one. Nice. Release the arms. Sink down into child's pose. Sink the hips down towards the heels. Melt the belly, the chest. Release the forehead. Catch your breath. Inhale in here. As you exhale, slowly, carefully peel the spine all the way up. Let's get ready for our final Shavasana, our constructive rest. Taking a moment to find your socks. Slipping your socks on to keep the feet warm. Extra layer, layers, maybe a jumper or a cardigan. Finding the blanket. Having an eye pillow for the eyes if you have one. And just as we started, Releasing and relaxing the back body down onto the earth. Taking a moment to arrange your legs and your feet, your arms and hands. Just allowing the back of the neck and the head to sink down into the earth. Releasing any tension around the forehead and the eyebrows and eyes. Releasing the cheekbones and the nose. Unclenching your jaw. Just softening the tongue into the base of the mouth. Integration of our practice here today. Mind, body and spirit. Today I trust that just being is enough, rather than making myself crazy and tired by trying to figure out the answer, or see the picture, or work out how it's all going to work out. I choose instead to focus my energy on staying present and enjoying each moment as it presents itself. I open my eyes to life as it is right now. And I know the gift of clarity will come when the time is right. slowly and carefully, just allow awareness to come into the room, back onto your body, resting on the earth. Just allowing some movements to come into hands and fingers, feet to toes. Maybe just stretching out through the hands and the fingers, circling the wrists, doing the same with the feet and the toes. And if you want to, take the arms and stretch carefully overhead. Be mindful of anything around you, breathing into that stretch. It's going to go all the way from the tips of your fingers down through the whole length of the body, the legs, the feet, the toes. Carefully releasing the arms. Start to think about taking a bend in your knees. Draw the knees up over the chest into a self-embrace. Maybe having a moment of stillness here, or gently rock from side to side. Allow your knees just to come back to centre and raise your right arm up. Keep that right arm elevated as you slowly, carefully roll over onto your right side, just resting your head on that raised arm. Allowing yourself just to take a little fuller inhale and a little fuller exhale. And then very carefully, very slowly, certainly in your own time, push down into your left fingers, your left hand, using that hand to steady yourself as you come all the way back up to seated. Coming into a comfortable seated position. As you're practicing from home, maybe you prefer to take your final Sukhasana with your back against the wall, or find a cushion from your sofa, your block, or rolled up blanket. Maybe the legs out in front, or maybe a comfortable cross-leg position with the palms of your hands resting on your thighs. I'd like to ask you to join me in chanting one Om if you wish. With the spine lengthening, close the eyes, take one nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, Om Shanti 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 and Namaste.